Welcome to the Temple of Geek podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Williams.
And I'm one of the other hosts, Kurosh, Jozavi.
And we are here at San Diego Comic-Con 2025, which is nuts because we're not only just at San Diego Comic-Con, but we're in the middle of everything right now.
Yes.
We've got the Alien Earth activation happening right behind us. We've got the convention center right here. There's windows so we can see out and see what's going on. And of course, this whole place right here was brought to you by FX and Alien Earth, and it's a crazy setup.
It's wild, yeah. No, I'm still taking it all in.
I mean, I'm stoked to be here. But first off, how's your con been?
It's been surreal. The con has, I feel like it's been a blur, like we've been talking about a little bit. Time has stopped, and we're just in this vacuum of all kinds of nerddom, all kinds of events, all kinds of everything. But it's been in a good way, in the best of ways. But how's yours been?
It's been good. It's been crazy. With Temple of Geek, I've been doing some press rooms and activations and some of the parties. And this is my con day.
Okay.
Today
you get to unwind a little bit.
Where I saw preview night, but now I get to actually go explore, and I'm gonna dress up as my Kanan cosplay.
Ooh, okay.
I got a new fancy wig.
I like that.
I got a wig made by somebody who actually worked on Star Wars.
No way. Okay.
Stuff like the Mandalorian and whatnot. But
awesome.
so I'm gonna be bringing that out today. So.
That's exciting to see. I can't wait to see that. That's really cool.
So speaking of nerddom, of course, Alien Earth is a new television show that's coming out on August 12th. And we got to see the first episode. Now, everything today will be non-spoiler.
Correct.
So do not worry about us ruining anything. Most of what we'll talk about is in the synopsis. But we got to watch the first episode. First initial reactions on this episode.
Familiar, but refreshingly new direction. That's the best way I can say it from my side. I loved just what it brought in. It brought you into a space that you're I know this franchise, I know this IP, I know this just ambiance really more than anything else. There's an eeriness to it that I just fell right into a smooth spot for. Well, how was it for you?
Again, same thing. It's been an expanded universe with the Alien franchise. I've been a fan of it since the '80s, which I don't know if I should have been watching it at that age, but it's fine.
You're fine.
It's fine.
We're good.
It's fine.
We process
that also dates me. But yeah, familiar. But one of the things that really struck me with this show so far is that every Alien story that we've had throughout the many decades has always been contained. Mm-hmm. So the first Alien, it was a contained story.
It was isolated. Aliens
and anything that they wanted to bring out of that they could, but everything was isolated. And this is the first Alien project that brings that open to a wider amount of people and possibly not contained.
Yeah, in a very interesting way of like you said, not only is it the first time to get that, but also I believe it's the first time we've seen it in the TV format as well. We've been so much a self-contained film or even a trilogy of sorts, but now we're what does Alien look like as a show? How do you tell these stories where they keep that tone, they keep the themes, they keep the subject matter, but tell a story over a longer period of time. I'm very that intrigued me on the onset. So yeah, I was digging that a lot.
When I first heard the Alien Earth project, I was okay, a new Alien movie. And then I was oh, a show.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we can go places with this.
One of the things that grabbed me first was the creative team behind it. Mm-hmm. Knowing I'm a big Noah Hawley fan. Mm-hmm. And seeing that his name was attached to it, I was oh, I love his prior works. Legion was a big thing I loved, and Fargo and everything. But the Legion stuff, I just really jived with. And I'm I want to see other creative minds take efforts into this. The comics have always been such a ripe space for it that I've been digging, and now seeing more and more prominent spaces like this, and at Comic-Con getting a chance to kind of experience it, that was really cool. Did any of the creative aspects of the casting really light you up in any way?
I tried specifically. I didn't look too much. I looked at some of the cast, but I wanted to dive into this without any extra information.
Fair.
I saw the synopsis and I'm oh, that sounds cool, but I wanted to go into it with a fresh perspective. But too often I let outside things affect my experience.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
So I looked into it afterwards, but yeah, beforehand going into it, I was kind of okay, let's just experience
clean
this.
palette.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that because I think with other projects with the Prey and the Predator franchise, they've often crossed. And I went into those very much with I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know who's involved. I don't know what. And I agree with you. I think that's the best way to experience this show is just going kind of just enjoying Alien.
And so far, the show itself, you don't need to have seen all the Alien movies for this.
Correct.
This isn't one of those like I need that experience with the franchise. There's always going to be Easter eggs and things that
it's enriching, but it's not
Yeah.
required, like you're saying.
So to kind of give you a basic idea of what we're dealing with is that you've got these 3 companies that all are essentially competing for dominance in the world of, like, we've got cyborgs, we've got synthetics and other. And so they're all trying to be the one main source for that. So instead of just having it be just friendly competitive, they're really trying to dominate the space. So that's your first setup. And then you've got a ship that's been collecting different species and whatnot, and things go awry. And again, this is not going to be spoilers. This is all in the trailer. And then, of course, things end up on, guess what? Earth. Surprise, surprise. I know.
In the title.
The biggest spoiler. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, but I think that element of it was really interesting to me. There's always been 2, like for me, Alien hit on 2 different levels, on the xenomorphs and the lore of their creation and everything that we've seen in the past films, and then also on the company corporate side of it and their intentions and agendas with this, trying to like, hey, this is a natural terror out there and everything. And it's interesting when they touch on those themes and subject matters, because so many things can hit on, like, they can resonate with real world stuff. You see corporate kind of involvement in all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited to see and how that kind of those tones get expanded on in this.
And those were like original trilogy Alien, Sigourney Weaver time period themes that were very prominent in everything. So it's interesting to see that, and now coming to Earth. And I always wondered like, how about the rest of the galaxy? How much do people know? How much? Well, now we're gonna find out.
We are gonna find out. It is interesting though, because it's always been like removed. It is. We're in some odd sector. It's a remnant. There's some colony. They're like on the outskirts somewhere. Again, isolated. But to see it brought back, I'm like, how do you keep that same eeriness, isolation, kind of captivity, kind of elements to this that makes this have its horror elements? How do you capture that on Earth? Like in the world that they've created.
Yeah, and I think this show is going to be a combination of several different elements, because you had the first Alien movie, which was more of a horror genre.
Yeah.
And then you had James Cameron come in, kind of taking over for Ridley Scott, and making it more of he referred to as more of just kind of an action movie.
Blockbuster.
Essentially what he made. And that was very intentional on James' part. But every iconic Alien, whether movie, has always had its own kind of stamp.
Yeah,
and I hope that this does that as well, and I hope it creates kind of a new vibe. It looks like it is.
I think so. I right after experiencing this, I went back and watched some of the more recent ones. Alien Covenant was one of the ones that I was like, there's something there. And again, it wasn't whether like I loved it or didn't love it, but it was just, it had a very unique identity and like portrayal of this environment and everything. And I think that's like, while there is a cohesive unity to all the films and tones, there is like you're saying, like the strength of it is each project can be its own kind of like version or framing of it. But have you had a particular one that you're like, this is the one like that holds a very near and dear spot in my heart?
Oh gosh, for me, it's nostalgia.
Okay.
For me, Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
I would say Aliens is the one that I rewatched the most.
Okay.
But again, it's really just kind of what I grew up with, like my generation. The same thing with like Star Wars, I grew up with the original trilogy, so that's. But I enjoy a lot of the other ones, because like Alien Romulus, more recently, I'm like, oh, that was good. Yeah. That was a good one. Again, contained. It was well done, and you got kind of brought back some of the horror elements to that, and like the jump scares and
that one really went on the jump scares. For me, like I think to your point of like the nostalgia, it was always a bonding experience with my father. He introduced me to Predator and he introduced me to Alien, so the first Alien holds a very close place in my heart. But Prometheus was, I think, the first time I saw that franchise kind of, I think, the furthest from what we were so familiar with, and I enjoyed it for what it was going for and all the things that it tried to do and bring into, much like this, like do something a little different, do something a little that you're not expecting. And I appreciate, like over time, I'm like, it doesn't always hit all the things, but it hit the things I cared about,
Yeah.
and I was like, I dug that. So there's one thing I wanted to ask.
Oh yeah, please.
Just in the vein of this show and keeping it spoiler free, like leaving that first episode,
Yeah.
and not requiring viewing of other things. How would you feel like? Is this if you were to say you need to watch Alien, is this a good point to like start?
I think it could be.
Okay.
I think it can be an intro point. Like, for example, like people coming into Star Wars with the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The first
absolutely.
show type of thing. Like, you don't need to know everything. They're introducing enough where you get kind of a glimpse of kind of all the different elements. I think they're gonna evolve that as the season goes along and reveal more. There's a whole like, how does the face hugger?
Yeah.
How does that whole process work? And
Absolutely. I feel like with that too of like, sometimes it's good to go in like when you're introduced to something, you don't need to know it from like the beginning.
Yeah.
Like again, Star Wars kind of went backwards and did episode 1, 2, 3, but you can enjoy it right in where it was, and it drops notes at things they're like, I want to explore that later. Where did this originate from? Oh, you want to learn more about that? That's in Aliens, or that's in Covenant, or that's in this. Like, it's kind of like an infectious feel to how you want to enjoy the fandom.
I would say to people out there that if you haven't experienced anything in the Alien franchise, maybe just watch the first one. Like, it just gives you the introduction to synthetics, gives you the introduction to Alien, but I don't think you need to watch the whole franchise. But having kind of a little bit of knowledge, I think, can be make it more of an enjoyable experience, because you're a little bit more in the know when things pop up, because sometimes something pans and you see a shot of something and if you don't know it, then you're kind of like, that's odd.
Yeah.
But if you at least saw the first one, you'd be like, oh, that's not good.
I would also warn that it has moments that make you irk.
There's still like gore when it comes to that, but it's more of an action movie take on it versus the horror kind of intensity that you get in the first Alien. But Sigourney Weaver is fantastic in everything, so
you're not going wrong.
That's a win either direction that you go. So kind of expanding. Is there anything more with Alien Earth that you?
No, I'm ready to dip into more of that show, the one that's available. So I'm excited for that. But other than that,
when it comes out, I'm going to rewatch the first episode again and dive in just like everyone else is.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big Alien, Predator, all of those franchises I've dug, but Alien I think has been the most consistent.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, between them. Yeah.
So has anything happened to you at the con? Has there been anything interesting that has really here at San Diego Comic-Con?
I would say the two biggest things. So with Temple of Geek and then doing my own thing as well with Save Point Stories, my podcast. I was able to put on a panel yesterday. And so at the panel, I focused a lot on video games, and it was I'm me and it's this game's fault. So it was a lot of what I like to do is go into the personal connections. So games as a way to hear your personal stories and stuff. I was hoping the panel would go well. It went beyond like anything I expected. Everyone was sharing so many moments. It was a roller coasters of emotions. Everyone on stage was having a great time. Everyone in the crowd. So I was really relieved and just elated to see that happen. And then seeing all my friends, like everyone we know, being on panels, being supporting on it. It's like I'm here amongst friends. Like that's always what Comic-Con is to me. In the past, it's always been attendees. Now it's like, or as an attendee, now I'm like, I get to contribute. I can get to be part of it. And it feels like you're kind of like, hey, we need to keep the blood flowing. The blood needs to pump of this place. So what about you?
Well, it's so many things.
Yeah.
The first thing is that with the Temple of Geek family is that in working together and working on Temple of Geek, we all have different strengths and all have different fandoms that we really like to dive into, but we don't get to see each other in person that often. And for me, especially the first night, like preview night, and being at the Magic the Gathering Spider-Man
that was
meetup, like but getting to be there with the Temple of Geek family and getting to see each other and so at this Magic the Gathering, they're coming out with these like Spider-Man Magic the Gathering, this kind of like team up. So going there, it was super fun. You're getting like some they're handing out
they're like
the
starter
cards,
decks,
starter decks, and they have a lot of like little fun things going on. But then like music starts. There was a DJ, but then somebody comes out and starts talking, but lo and behold, Run DMC comes out and just starts performing randomly at a Magic the Gathering Spider-Man
crossover. Yeah.
So that was a crazy like start.
That's like a Mad
Comic-Con.
Libs of Comic-Con
Yeah.
right there. It's just like, let's take this, let's take this, let's take this. And it's going to be a great time, but you would not have expected those combination of things to occur.
And like tie it all together because like Run DMC's like from New York, and of course like Spider-Man is from there. I'm like, all right,
I'm here
whatever
for it.
gets me to see Run DMC,
yeah.
I'm okay with whatever reasoning got me to this point.
It was a great time. I love that. That was so much fun. I'm also a big Magic the Gathering fan. Me and Miles were like, oh, we get to experience this, and then seeing like you and Maddie and everyone else there was like, okay, cool. Okay, this is approachable. This is welcoming as it was trying to be, and I'm like, I love that. Like fandoms are coming here and they're bringing us to let like, hey, we can just share in this and in the enthusiasm. So it's suffice to say, Miles and I played a few games of Magic, and he's pretty good. I'll say that.
Oh,
yeah. Be careful, Rob.
All right. I mean, he's a gamer, so
he
I'm
is.
not gonna.
He's my gaming editor, and I'm like, all right, yeah, for sure. You are fantastic at Magic.
Put down money on it, I will bet against me. Yeah, just to assure that I get some money back. So yesterday was one of my like kind of press room days, and being able to go and talk to a lot of people and projects. I made somebody cry. The main actress of Revival, Melanie, who's also in Winona Earp and Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
So
what happened?
Well, it's nothing. It was a good cry. Yeah, it was a good cry.
Okay.
So basically, I asked about the themes of Revival and the show itself, and then this is not giving anything away, but there's like still very deep human, intense themes in the show, and I was like, okay, what did you bring to it? And it was the two sisters in the show were kind of paired up, and so unfortunately, it's a show about people coming back from the dead from this time period, and Melanie had somebody who passed away during filming.
Wow.
So yeah, that somebody close to her that like. That intensity, like it's hard not to draw from that.
Yeah.
But then, so it was a good moment. But I was like, oh no, my question made Melanie cry.
Oh wow.
But it was very heartfelt, and I was very happy to see that she was able to open up about that. And, like express
she felt
that.
comfortable talking about it. Yeah.
So at least there was that comfort there. But like, yeah, that's not what you want to do. Like as when you're interviewing people, like you want to try to make it an enjoyable experience for them too.
For sure.
I never want to be one of those people that are trying to hit like
You're not going for the sour
gotcha
notes.
questions.
Yeah.
No. Like Temple of Geek especially is I think a place where we're a bunch of geeks. We love the fandoms, and we love getting to talk to the people or talk about the art that we love. Yeah. And that's really what we're about. Sometimes I'm standing next to people that are doing interviews and trying to get like sound bites out of things. I'm like, no, I just want to talk to this person about their art form.
There's a thing that I chase, and you see it in all the different fandoms, but I'm chasing it in like game space. But when someone is talking about something that they are very passionate about, there's like something that kicks out, like that comes out, or there lights up in their eyes, and I'm like, that's what I love. Like when we all get to just share that either collectively or bring it in and just bring it into someone else. Nothing gets me more excited about someone else's interest and stuff, and I'm curious about when that's happening. And I'm like, that's what I get from the Temple of Geek vibe when I joined, and I'm like, this is great. I'm amongst like-minded people. This is a cool space. Let's put this out there. So I agree with you on that. That's cool.
Being here at Comic-Con, we're lucky in being able to do some of this and get to meet certain people and talk to certain people, like people behind the scenes or people in front of the camera. And there's so many like great artists in every fandom here that there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
What are some of your like here at Comic-Con, like your favorite fandom deep dives when you come to a place like this?
Okay, so one happened this year. I'm a big fan of the game Sea of Stars, and if you're not familiar with it, it's like a play on older like Chrono Trigger style games, like a 2D retro looking RPG. Beautiful story, fantastic story, great humor. And the artist that has done a lot of the work for it was on the show floor, and I was like, I know he's here. He has amazing other art as well. You ever see his Pokemon stuff? It's very iconic. And I was like, maybe he'll have some CSR stuff. I just want to go and say hi and tell him, just gush about what I love. He was there, and he had CSR stuff. Not only that, he had a sketchbook of the work he's done in it with like anecdotes. And he's like, I can also do a sketch for you if you'd like, and of a character from the game. I'm like, pinch me, is this real? Like that, it was amazing, and I got to share it, like sharing those moments of like, I want to give back what you shared with me, and it was a very cathartic and like cool moment to have on the show floor. And I'm like, I was not expecting that at all. What about you?
I think, like I got to talk to Alan Tudyk.
Oh my God!
And so he was, he was again for Resident Alien.
Yeah.
And I love the show. I love the cast. Having announced 2 days ago that it was this current season is their final season, and having that announced, like, and went to the panel yesterday, and like they did their like final bow and stuff like that. It's crazy. But Alan Tudyk is a delight no matter what, and he was carrying a Loungefly Hey Hey. Because he's the voice of Hey Hey from Moana, just like, he does the most random voices.
His voice work is amazing, yeah.
So the first thing that happened, like he sat down at the table, and the first thing I said was Hey Hey, and then he and the entire table went Hey Hey, and so that's always a good start of talking to that. I've got to talk to Alan before, not interview him, but just like chat a little bit at the Resident Alien premiere a few months ago, and he's just a delight, like.
Nice.
Like I would, there's certain people that I would love to talk to for hours on end. Like they would never want to talk to me for that long. But
if you could get an opportunity like that, is there like if I could have just one more, like who would this person be that you get to just sit and share a moment, either on or off camera?
Being a Star Wars person, I would have to go that route because I have a lot of fandoms that I love. I love pretty much anything superhero, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I those are kind of my main genres, but. I would say some of the people that I would love to sit down to talk to would be like Mark Hamill, George Lucas, and Dave Filoni. Would be some of my top. And just because I would get a lot of like crap, would be like Harrison Ford because he'd be grumpy, and that would be hilarious to me. It's just how grumpy he would be. But like those are the three that I would love to just like chat with. I've gotten to talk to Dave briefly with Temple of Geek.
Right. I remember seeing some of that.
Mark, I like got my picture with him at like a New York Comic Con years ago. Okay, but that's it. Like you're like I shake the Skywalker hand and then snap the picture and leave. But those are people like growing up that I'm like I would just love to just like hang out.
Yeah,
like with Dave, it would just be like just hang out and geek talk, just talk Star Wars,
unwind a little bit. Yeah.
Because he just loves to talk about Star Wars, so I would do that. And George just because.
Just
because he's the maker, I know.
Yeah,
and so he's got the panel tomorrow. So I'm going to the Lucas Museum panel to see him in person. So that's exciting.
Okay.
I don't get to you're in a room with 7,000 people, but I've never been in Hall H, and I was going to yesterday, but then press room stuff came up, and I'm like, let's work for Temple of Geek on that. But yeah, so that'll be my first time with like George and Hall H. It's gonna be.
That's gonna be surreal. That's gonna be a pinch. This is real kind of moment.
And like you have like Guillermo del Toro's there, and
my God,
Queen Latifah is moderating. I don't.
What? Okay, cool. Hey, Comic-Con. This is what we're here for.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of like what is that tie-in? Like I like all these people, but
maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, that's true. It's a the museum. Who knows? There's a lot of mystery to that.
So you alluded to that's one of the things that's coming up that you're going to be doing the rest of this weekend. Yeah. What else is on your agenda for the weekend?
Today, so I mentioned I'm going to be in my Kanan Jarrus cosplay. After this, like we get to do the activation, which I'm super stoked about.
I am scared and excited.
From what I gather, like you're going to be like diving into like being in like an alien type movie scenario. Like
it's an escape room. There's a door closes and an egg opens.
Oh my goodness, that would be the most terrifying escape room of all time. Make it happen, please. Please make it happen. But then Jim Cummings, who's the voice of everything. So Jim Cummings is the voice of Winnie the Pooh, Hondo Naka from Star Wars, Darkwing Duck, like you name it. He's even like voiced parts of like Scar for the original Lion King.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to interview him in my Kanan cosplay since I can talk to him about Hondo Naka, and like I debated that, but I'm kind of like, you know what,
Yeah.
Near Comic-Con.
It's a Comic-Con,
Yeah.
man. Come on.
hopefully
It's in the
he's
spirit
fine
of
with
it. Yeah.
I know. The thing I always forget is that the people that are in the industry, the people that create everything, are also like fans and nerds of the things that they do.
I don't think like you were saying, getting a chance to just like unwind and like chat, like geek out.
Yeah.
There's so many moments where I see them feel like whenever I've had a moment to meet someone that's a creator or something, getting it like, oh, you love this. They see a fan like, dude, I gotta unwind and talk to you. That's happened with Magic where they're like, did you get the latest set? I'm trying to chase this card. I haven't found it. I'm like, this is you. This is you. Just like it's off a little bit. You don't have to be on and like answering certain questions for various things, but like you get to unwind and enjoy that. So maybe it's an opportunity for them to like be nerds and just wear the cosplay, and you're like, okay, this is a conversation starter.
Yeah, that's what I love about something like the cons and stuff like that. Like there's the times where they have to be on for like panels or like certain autographs or whatever it might be. But then when you see some of the people walking around and just like exploring the con, just being nerds, like that's such a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Something like this, especially something as massive as San Diego Comic-Con.
That show floor, man. Every year, I'm not new to it, but every time I come in, I'm like, is it bigger? Did they extend this? Is there a hall? Every year, it's amazing what they're doing. The Lego exhibit.
Yeah.
That was wild. Like so what they did was Lego every year tends to have a lot of amazing, intricate displays out there. This year they recreated. There was a replica of the convention center from the outside and the interior exhibit hall.
I've not seen that. I get to today. Today's my like day to.
It
like,
is.
I'll have to go to
it
Lego.
is like the longer you look, the more you start to understand these little things, and they did a fantastic job on it. So.
The preview night. First thing I have to go to is like the Star Wars area, right? Like just to like check. Because I'm also a Star Wars content creator. Small time, but I enjoy doing it. But like seeing what they have, and of course, like they have some of the props from some of the shows, but it's like kind of based on the animated 20-year anniversary of all those projects. But there was like in a corner, there was a picture of live action for Ahsoka, Ezra Bridger for season 2.
What?
So they snuck in like a teaser of the thing for this display.
Oh my
like
God.
in the corner. And like people, of course, caught onto that right away.
Yeah.
I saw it and like and so that went all over the internet. And then they officially released that picture. They knew.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
This is not going to stay hush for much longer.
I know. Like it's just amazing what little like spoilers are like little sneaky things that they do. Like you never know with Marvel or any of these fandoms what they're going to throw out there.
Well, we covered at the was it the fashion show? Or it was one of the one of the parties. Brandon Routh. Had shown up.
I was there. So it was during the fandom party, and like they're playing their songs, and then somebody in a Spider-Man cosplay comes up, and you're like, is this somebody like crashing the thing, or is like, oh no, this is a bit, like this is because he gave him the mic, so. And then like pulls off the mask and it's Brandon Routh, and the fact that Superman is in a Spider-Man outfit. Promoting it's like something else, but it was
Comic-Con.
It's Comic-Con. Such a random array of like, and again, like these people are like the artists and that create these things are just nerds as well.
Yeah,
it's great. It's always interesting seeing like the new Superman like just and talking about Star Wars constantly.
Yeah, no, it's infectious. That's what you want to do. It's so fun. Do you ever? Okay, so I want like we're talking about exhibit floor. Do you have a target for you want to try and find something or buy something? Are you a shopper when it comes to these kinds of venues? Or?
I try to avoid buying too much, but then of course, so I went to the Star Wars exhibit, and right behind it is the Her Universe, and then they had Star Wars stuff, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no! That's where they get you when you don't have something planned.
Yeah,
and then you see something.
That's what happened with me with the sketchbook. I was like, "What is happening here? I did not know I needed this, but now I can't leave without it."
To be fair, half of what I bought was for my fiance. Half of it.
Okay, that's
so like
thoughtful.
Wasn't just for me. It was also for people that I care
I get to
about.
bring it back and be like, now you get to experience some of Comic-Con.
Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, But who knows what'll happen to me today?
For sure.
On that floor.
That's exciting.
I generally don't try to go in with like I'm gonna buy things. I don't. I already have too many things I've collected.
Yeah.
Like I have a whole like Kenner toy from Star Wars from like 78 to 85 collection. So I've got plenty. Okay. But they get you. They get you with like things that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always things I'm looking for. Just in general, like Star Wars things. Of course, like when you see like Marvel or DC, like you have to kind of look at those. And then like randomly there'll be like Lord of the Rings type stuff. Or,
Did you see the Prancing Pony?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I took pictures in front of it.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. That was when I saw that stuff. I'm like, this is amazing. I always like to go when I get a chance to. Artist Alley is very packed all the time, but there is a few artists I've grown to meet and know, and one of them was on my panel, Hannah Hillam, and she has amazing artwork. She does a lot of humorous meme-esque stuff, and she was doing cat portraits, and I have my cat at home. Her name is Samus. After the Metroid series, for those that know. And she was doing portraits. I was like, can you please? I've always wanted kind of like a caricature portrait of my cat. And she was gracious enough to do a quick little sketch for me. So sometimes I like walking away with like things like memorabilia or like things of fandoms. Other times I'm like, this is a chance to get something very personal to me and enjoy that and like kind of blend it in with what I love or who I want to support.
I always have an Artist Alley day at a con, because I love walking and seeing like having the artist there and the art there's something to that.
Yes.
And or being seeing the comic writers like and with their comics like just right there. That's always crazy to me that it's just right there available. But I always like to have a walkthrough of like Artist Alley and just like take my time and look at everything.
You see some familiar faces from con to con, but you also see a lot of new faces, and you're like, "Who are you?" Like I want to like, and you can kind of chat with them, and be like, "Is this your first time coming to Comic-Con? What's the experience been like?" And they're here like every day from like preview night through Sunday, in their space and doing everything. So like I'm always like, the work they do. I everyone on the show floor obviously, but like. Just seeing that in real, like, just touch one-on-one is really cool. What I like to see more too, I wanted to quickly hit on was the video game space. As I'm so much into, I'd like to see more and more of it. Like I do, and I have been lately in the last like 2-3 years. I've been feeling like Comic-Con has been having a lot more presence with the game makers and the game creators and everything. Like they've been holding mixers and connections, kind of like where aspiring creators can come in and learn from people who are in the industry, and having panels where how do you get into the industry and all these sorts of things or adjacent to it. Like that is like, again, Comic-Con hits all the things, movies, comics, superheroes, and everything. And I always appreciate it. Like it warms my heart when I see moments like that too. That's like where I kind of geek out and see it get its recognition. So I'm excited for that to continue.
Yeah, like something for everything is like we're so used to Hall H, right? We're so used to like those announcements, but there's so much more that goes on here. I mean, like we've got our Temple of Geek people that have different panels. We've got one later today, and Victoria had one.
She had one, 2 days ago, I believe.
Yeah, and so just getting to see some of our people like contribute, to the space as well, but like hitting on different themes. Like it's everything from like cosplay to inclusivity to like there's so many different themes that our team, let alone everybody else here, kind of hits on that really makes it really brings fans into it into the space and at the forefront. So it's not just the stars that we're going 100%. To see.
You feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, and it's all encompassed. Like this con is insane.
Yeah.
Like you're like, where are these rooms? Oh, it's this whole other like space with all these huge
rooms. I discovered something the other day, because it's not just the convention area, it's like all the surrounding activations, it's the whole downtown environment, the hotels on the other side. Marriott had some stuff for the game space where I just kind of like took a wrong turn and I stumbled upon a huge space where they were doing a bunch of game stuff, and I was like, I didn't even know this existed, but okay, this is a happy accident. I've discovered something.
I mean, again, we're right here in the middle of this activation.
Yeah.
You hear people hopefully surviving behind us.
I think so. I didn't hear any screams.
No, yeah. So I mean, that could be good or bad.
It could be. Yeah, that's a good point.
We got people like going through the line here about to in their different cosplays, getting ready to be scared to death, but hopefully to fun.
I've always in regards to like cosplays, like there's so many fandoms that it's hard to keep up and understand.
Oh.
But I like
trying to identify everybody's
it's
cosplay.
a guessing game, but so often I feel like I'm always like, oh, I don't want to bother them. I feel like it'll worry them if I'm asking. But every time I've asked, what is your cosplay? I'm not familiar. it's an excitement. It's like, oh, let me tell you about the character and the thing and the version. And I saw someone the other day where I wasn't sure if it was Emma Frost or going more the Frozen route.
Yeah.
But it was an Emma Frost like going to a gala. And I was like, I love that mesh and combination. I don't know if it's been done before, like in a comic, but I was like, this is amazing. This works. This is so cool.
I mean, cosplayers like you put time and into coming up with it. Some people, like I commission things because I can't. For the life of me, I can't create anything with that. Crafting is not my forte. So I get people who actually know what they're doing to do it, and I'm thankful for them. But there's still people want to be recognized. People want to be seen. Always ask for
That's a good point.
Yeah. Consent is for touching or anything like that. Always ask for that. I got to say that when it comes to cosplayers. But like they love to pose for pictures. Like by all means, like that is kind of a thrill of coming to here with a cosplay. Like
it's a celebration.
Getting that attention. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, there's always the big group meetups and everything, and you see like.
I always miss them.
I always, again, happy accent. I'm like, I need to get somewhere. Oh, this is where it is. Oh, that's where it is. And I'm like, the Avatar cosplays are always, that fandom is so passionate. And I always love seeing all the different renditions of like Tenzin and the Avatar and Aang and Korra and everyone. I'm like, this is Comic-Con. This is why I'm here.
Maddie and I got to talk to the creators of the Dragon Prince.
Oh, okay.
Who also worked on Avatar.
Yeah.
And so, like, a lot of the same voice actors from project to project. But they announced the Dragon King, which is a follow-up to the Dragon Prince. So we got to talk to the creators for a while about that.
Okay.
And just being in that space of, like, oh, man, you all, like, went from Avatar to Dragon Prince to now Dragon King.
That's wild, that journey. That's so cool. Do you ever, so I know we come into Comic-Con and things like this with our fandoms that we love and we're seeking out. Has there ever been a case where you leave with like, I need to go learn about this new fandom or this new series or something that you're
always.
Do you have any that happens thus far this year?
This time around, I might have to process that because like there's been a lot of different fandoms that have popped up.
Okay.
With that, but I don't have a specific one yet. But there will be some things that that have popped up and like, oh, it's great. Or
for me it was I'm always again like I love magic just like Miles. And we bond over that a lot with our games. But I was walking by, I think Weta was doing a collab with another card game called Flesh and Blood. I've never heard of this game, but I always see it everywhere. And I just, I was like, you know what? Let me learn about it. And they gave us a little free, like, hey, learn how to play kind of thing. So I may be learning a new card game. And I'm both excited and worried to have a new kind of addiction or something. But it was very cool to hear what he was sharing and stuff.
I mean, my fiance loves games, like board games and card games. So most likely, because bringing back the decks from Magic the Gathering, that would be a good like. Hey,
there's two in there.
Start in. Yeah. It'd be a good time to start in on that and just kind of explore. We have friends that from LARP who make their living at their YouTube channel talking about Magic the Gathering.
No way.
Which is crazy. Yeah. To make a living at that and be successful. So cool. It's like I think that's rad. So there's more incentive to be like, okay, we know people that really dive into this, and because of that, some other friends have been diving into Magic the Gathering. So that might be a go. Like
you should
at
join
least
us,
give it a try. Like I haven't tried that kind of fandom before.
It's fun. Like just to gush about it for a second. There's so many formats to it, but the one that I enjoy the most is, again, how you can like personalize. And there's a format called Commander. It's a very casual format.
Yeah.
It's meant for like 4 players, so you just sit at a table, kind of hang out. And you can bring a personality, be like, I'm playing with dinosaurs, so that's my thing. Someone else is like, I put all fairies in my deck. I don't care what they do, but all the artworks are fairies. Or I wanted something all Spider-Man, or I love Miles and stuff. And like that personality of it, like I get to know you a little bit more through what you're playing. Like that's fun to me.
That's probably what I would like to do, that kind of angle. Like I love the social aspect of being able to do something like that. So that would probably be the route that I would want to take in that, instead of just doing something myself.
Well, like we'll talk more after this. Yeah. Build you some decks.
Oh no, another fandom that I'm adding to this.
Well, then we answered the question. Yeah. What are you going to walk
over here? Now again, it only takes that little bit. That little bit.
The little nudge.
It's like there's podcasts from people from Daredevil. I'm blanking on names right now. Where she's a huge
Karen.
D&D. Yeah, thank you. And they started she gets him to start playing D&D.
Yeah, with John. Berthenol.
Yeah. And just seeing that turnaround, he was like, yeah, and he didn't seem like he was interested. And by the end, he was kind of like,
let's do this.
Yeah, I want to know more. just being able to see that experience,
I think I got you.
That's what you just did to me on this. Well, now I'll be diving into Magic the Gathering.
Miles, we win.
I know you did it. You did it. It doesn't take much for me to try to. It's more my only hesitation with this is the amount of time that I have to invest in different fandoms. But
that is always.
You got me in a good place. You got me in a good I'm caught up on Star Wars stuff and Tolkien stuff and so
okay.
I'm ready to dive in.
Awesome. I'm excited for that.
What else do you have going for you the rest of the con?
I have a few friends that I want to go see their panels.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were saying we were talking about Temple of Geek is going to have one later today.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to make with Monica and team. I have some other friends that are doing Mina representation in pop culture and entertainment.
Nice.
One of my buddies, Kavetarian, he spoke on my panel, and I met him at Comic-Con. So it was such a cool moment. I'm Iranian. And so I never knew I wasn't even aware of Mina. Middle Eastern, North African representation, and seeing them speak on how they both intentionally and just subtly blend in their culture with everything. I was that got me very close. I've always been trying to wrestle with that or figure that out, and hearing them talk about it was very put me in a good place of what I need to try to do or not do, and learn from and have kind of a community around it. So I'm hoping to catch that today. And catch up with a few friends. There's a few friends that we kept running each other and passing. We'll meet up. I'm hoping today's the day. Kind of you're saying, a little bit more of a enjoy things, and as opposed to we've been on it working and everything. But.
Well, we just want to thank you for joining us today, and thank FX for giving us this opportunity in this booth in this amazing surrounding. Follow Temple of Geek everywhere. You've got TikTok, you've got Blue Sky, you've got YouTube, website. Instagram. We're everywhere. Facebook, Temple of Geek. Look us up. We love to have a good time. And thank you so much for talking to me today.
Yeah, thank you for letting me gush about this stuff.
But we will see you. We will see you on the Temple of Geek socials. But it's been a pleasure. This is Nick signing out.
This is Kurosh signing off.